Waxwork is an interesting creature feature. Uh, Released by Artisan Pictures and distributed by Vestron. January 17th, 1988. Starring Zach Galligan. Produced by Stefan Arenberg. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. Written and directed by Anthony Hickox, who's done other films like Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth, which I've talked about on here. Warlock 2, Lost in Time. Waxwork 2, Lost in Time. Warlock the Armageddon. And Sundown Vampire and Retreat, to name a few. And this had a budget of around $3.5 million, which is still a little low. Average price around this in the 80s and stuff was about $5 million for a decent one. And overall, this one does have a lot of heart and character to it. Waxwork is the story of this pop-up wax museum in a suburban area. Some teens go to check it out, and one of the guys is on his own, goes and looks and finds one of them to look pretty cool. So he sneaks in, tries to touch it, and it turns out this museum has portals to other dimensions. So he gets taken to the werewolf one, the one that he was looking at, and he ends up becoming that. And there's a couple other sequences. I'm not going to say it all because I'll spoil the whole movie, but a couple others get transported to different portals. When they come back, they're part of that museum, basically. So, yeah. And then once some of the other kids get the feel for it and realize what's going on, they try to get some of the elderly townies and try to get them to help take on the curator and his little short henchman, and basically they get into a huge fight with all the monsters and the curator, and they try to take it down to save the day. Overall, this is a fun little ride with a lot of cool creatures in it, and the makeup is fantastic in this. Some of the scenes are a little cheesy and stuff like that, typical 80s, but overall, it's a fun time, I thought. So main things I like about it, like I said, I like the makeup, and the setting of this film is fantastic. The acting is really well done, and even the music sets the mood pretty well and pushes the story even more. And there's a lot of cool gore effects in this film, which I liked a lot. I always like gory movies and stuff like that, and to see that in like a cheesy B 80s movie is perfect. There is some scenes though that drag a little while. Like there's some vampire stuff that they probably could have cut half of that out, even though the director was acting in it, so that's probably why it stayed in. But it didn't really add very much to the plot and stuff, and it's right in the middle of the film. There's about like 20 minutes they probably could have cut out, but yeah, it's still fun. The brawl scene at the end is hilarious. I wish it was longer, but it's good for what you got. You got a lot of cool stuff, a lot of the little homages and tributes to other classic horror films, mainly public domain ones, because they try to get like some of the big slashers in there, but they couldn't afford the licensing and stuff. So what they did is they managed to get some of the universal basic monsters and stuff, so they did that way instead. It still works really well though, I thought, for a film, and they even made a sequel to this because it did so well. So it's a good little fun time. I heard about this on the internet, so I hunted it down and finally watched it, and boy was I happy and pleased about it, even though the middle sort of dragged a bit like that, dragged a bit on and stuff, but it's still a fun time. Definitely something new and refreshing than all the random slasher films I could find and stuff like that. So definitely unique, definitely cool. Some interesting kills, a lot of cool monsters. So definitely, if you're into that type of stuff, if you like this amalgamation of all these different type of horror tropes and stuff like that, you'll definitely find this one interesting. Like if you like Cabin in the Woods even, or the Monster Squad and stuff like that. It's sort of like in that type of vein of horror film. So if you like all that stuff, definitely check this one out. It's good to go. So, but with that, that's all I have to say for this film. So The trailer's linked down below as well, so make sure you check that out. My Instagram's linked down below too. I always post clips of film review in the future, all my stories, so make sure you follow me there. The title's hidden in a hashtag somewhere in the video if you want to find that. And yeah, make sure you like this video, share it somewhere people are aware. Let me know what you thought if you've seen it in the comments down below. Make sure you subscribe because you never know what's next. And always, if you have any other films that you want to hear my opinions on, comment those down below too. And I'll try my best to get to them as soon as I can. But in this quick, short review, and I guess I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.